Today, as promised, I'm going to share with you what's in my bag and why. Yes, my photography bag. So why am I in my kitchen? Well, I'm in my kitchen because, as you know, photographers are busy just like everyone else, and we often don't have just a complete day to dedicate to photography. So today I'm going to be cooking up my lunch and sharing with you what's in my bag at the same time. All right, I hope you're hungry. Let's do this. So chicken stir fry, delicious, one of my favorites. Healthy and balanced, the same way that a photography bag needs to be. Photography bag on your shoulders, you need to know that you have everything you need to make sure that you are healthy out there while you're hiking and setting up, taking down, moving from place to place, and capturing those amazing images. All right, lunch is started, so let's start talking about packing a camera bag and a recipe for having a good packed bag while you're out taking landscape photos. It's very, very important, if you carry a lot of equipment like me, that you have your bag packed properly and that you have the right things in your bag. This is my camera bag. I love this camera bag. It is the Lowepro ProTactic 450 AW. This bag holds so much, and what I love about it is that it does not hold so much because it's big and cumbersome and you feel like, oh man, this is just so uncomfortable. The reason that it holds so much is because it's very, very intelligently designed. There are all sorts of customizable pockets and compartments on the inside, and there are also spots on the outside where you can attach more items and arrange them in a way that works for you. So I usually have my tripod right here on the back, which I prefer to having on the side, because on the side it kind of makes things uneven, but a tripod on the back. I have space for my water bottle, some extra stuff, and you can add more loops and everything. It's very, very customizable. So let's look inside here and see what I have. But first, let's go check on the vegetables. So let's start with the heart of the matter, which is the camera. This would be the meat of the recipe, if you will. If you don't have a camera, you're not going out to do photography. My camera is the Sony A992, and a lot of you already know that this is what I shoot with. It is a DSLR, so I have not gone mirrorless yet, but it is a fantastic camera. 42.4 megapixels. It is unparalleled with speed, precision, everything. I just love this camera. When I do upgrade from the Sony A992, I will be going mirrorless because that's where all of the technology is being developed, and so that's the way that I can see my next upgrade going. But I don't think I'm going to have to upgrade for a while. So I have 3 lenses that I will generally bring with me all the time. I have the 70 to 300 lens, 16 to 35, 24 to 70, which sometimes I will include or will not include, and a 50 millimeter prime lens, and that's a macro lens. So these lenses fit nicely in these pockets down lower in the bag. Now, I keep the heaviest stuff down low in the bag, and that is because it is much more comfortable for my back when the heavy items are down low where my hips can support it, rather than up high where it's pulling on my shoulders and my shoulders back and maybe straining your low back. Low in the bag is always a good idea, and that works for me. Gotta check on the food. Before I go back to cooking, I want to just stop and let you know that there are so many different types of photographers. I know you know this, but my camera bag may look completely different to someone else's. So I'd also like to point you to two other photographers that I know who are going to be doing a What's in My Bag special. One is Nick Smith. I love Nick's work. Now, he is also a landscape photographer, but he also specializes in macro photography, and you might have seen his series Monday Macro. It's really, really great. He's got great ideas, and I think you should check out his channel if you're at all interested in seeing how another photographer might pack their bag and get some ideas for some macro photography. Lens hoods. This is my favorite lens hood. It's the one for the 70 to 300 lens. The reason why I can get away with this being so big and long is because it's a telephoto lens. If this were on a wide angle lens, all you would see is a black ring around the outside of your images. But the reason I love this so much is that I can go out in rain and use my rain cover, which will come up to about here on the lens hood, and I don't have to worry about the lens getting wet. So oftentimes I will go out and do telephoto photos in the rain. So I always keep this lens hood with me. And when I'm packing it in my bag, my tiny little Minolta 50 millimeter lens fits right inside and in this pocket. Always have a blower. This is to keep my lens clean and free of debris. It gets all of the dust off. If I were to use my fingers and sometimes even a lens cloth on the lens all the time, I might smear things around. I might actually, you have to be careful. If you have grit or anything sort of sharp on your lens and you use a cloth, you could scratch your lens. So it's always a good idea to use the blower first. So I keep lens cloths, they're actually microfiber cloths, and a blower right there, front and center in my bag. Off to the left, I have filters in a filter pouch. This is a fantastic filter pouch. If you use square filters, I highly recommend having a pouch. This is an S&F series filter pouch 100. And it's excellent. So you have a button at the top, open it up, and on the inside, you fit your filters. So in here, I have quite a bit of stuff. I have round filters as well as square filters. This is a UV filter, which I should have been using the one day my camera fell over. I might not have damaged my lens. However, that's another story. I have two square filters. This one, the NiSi 3-stop graduated ND filter, which you have probably seen me use many times. I use it to sort of bring down the highlights in the sky and get an overall even tone in my images. And then I have a 7-stop ND filter all over. So this just reduces the amount of light coming into the lens. Now the Loa Pro AW Pro Tactic also has a top entrance to the bag. You can zip this open while you're out without opening up the whole back of the bag, and you have access to, you can put a camera actually right at the top, or there's also this great little, it's almost like a little bubble compartment where you can put other accessories in. In there I have my light that I use for video and also for lighting up macro subjects. I also have some extra batteries for that light, so AA batteries. I have a screw, which is very, very important, this one screw, for me being able to use my gimbal stabilizer. It's very important, I just threw it away. All right, so I like to keep my bag packed pretty simply. Time for the food. Another photographer is Tom O'Neill, landscape photographer, but he also specializes in portraiture, and you're going to see some differences in how we pack our bags, but they can also tell you why they do what they do as opposed to why I do what I do. Okay, let's get back. Now I'll talk about this top section of my bag because it's very, very important. There are 3 pockets here. One is, they're very flat. One is where I keep all of my extra batteries. So I have lots and lots of camera batteries and video batteries. In these 2 pouches at the top, I have a number of SD cards and little accessories. So maybe an extra fluffy thing for my mic, and that's good. So in this pouch at the back here, this is where you can put a laptop. I don't bring my laptop on most of my trips. So I have Ziploc bags for when I'm going into a warm environment from a cold one. So I'll put my cameras in these before I put them in my bag, and then I'll leave them in there to warm up slowly. And I also have rain covers. I just find it a very convenient place to keep those. Now, before we go to just the last few little pockets, the other things that I carry with me, you've probably noted that there's a big empty section here in the middle, and I have 2 pockets that are also empty. The Canon M50 that I am videoing with right now goes into the smaller pocket at the top, and the smaller lower pocket at the bottom is my Rode micro mic. So that's where that goes. And I can also, believe it or not, fit my gimbal. I use the Zion V2 crane, which I've talked about before. You put the batteries in here, it goes on the bottom, and then I even have a little tripod on the bottom so I can put it down and walk away. This actually fits in my camera. So, I mean, in my camera bag. I will put the tripod in first. I'll put the bottom with the batteries in there. Sometimes I'll also bring a GorillaPod because you never know when you want to attach your camera to something strange like a picnic bench or a tree branch. So that goes in. And then the top of the crane fits in very conveniently just like that. So all of my video gear, all of my camera gear, 3 lenses in here, gimbal, M50, microphone, filters, little accessories, SD cards, batteries, everything, and I'm still able to walk comfortably. I love this bag. Let's go see how the food is doing. Time. It's done. I'm so excited. This looks delicious. So packing a photography bag is not unlike using a recipe to make lunch. It is, you have your core ingredients like your camera and your lenses, and then you have other things that you always sort of use as tools, your pans and your spatulas and all of that stuff. You have your gimbals and tripods, that sort of thing. And then you have your extras that are sort of nice to have, like maybe some of your filters or whatever, and that's the things that add flavor. If you have any questions, just leave them below. I'd be happy to help. So thanks for coming along. So talk to you soon. Bye guys. Oh, it's really good.